Hey friends, Devin here with Backcountry Exposure. Today we're talking about power stations and specifically why a power station is so useful to take out on a car camping trip. And so I want to talk about 7 useful things that a power station provides for a camping scenario. Now the power station that is being featured in this video specifically is the DJI Power 1000. DJI did provide this unit for me to test and experience and get some time with and then share with you guys, but it is not sponsored, no money was exchanged. And what we're talking about today does encompass pretty much any kind of power station. It just depends on what your specific needs are. But we will spend a little bit of time breaking down what the Power 1000 from DJI provides. So reason number 1 that a power station is so useful when you're out camping is simply for the fact that it is portable power. This allows me the opportunity to keep things charged. Whatever device that is, that might be an iPad, that might be a cell phone, it could be camera batteries, it can be all sorts of different things that you consume the power from and then need to recharge while you're out on your trip. And that could be very different for everybody when they head out, because we all go out for different reasons. When it comes to what size power station to get, it just depends on what your needs are, what you are trying to recharge, what you're powering, how many people. All of those things come into consideration. In fact, I did a recent video all about choosing the right size power station that I'll link down in the description. But that's what makes a power station useful. It's large power availability to recharge smaller batteries as you're using them out in the field and such. Now, reason number 2 is not actually something that I have done personally yet, but I'm going to be doing it this year or very soon, because when I'm out with my kids, I want to just enjoy my time with them. And sometimes we end up getting into the tent kind of early and we don't spend as much time outside when the sun starts to go down and such. And I'd like to be outside more if it's still warm and nice weather. So I'm looking at getting a super tiny movie projector so that when we are out as a family, we can power a projector and have a movie night. Like, how cool would that be to just sit together out under the stars and enjoy watching a fun movie together? I think that that is memory opportunity. It's just a fun way to experience being outside together a bit more. Now, I know some people are probably going to have opinions on whether or not that is a good use of a power station and your reason for being outside, but we all go outside for our own reasons, and I think having the ability to power something like that would just be awesome. Reason number 3 that a power station is super useful is the ability for these to power small appliances. So for example, this DJI Power 1000 has an inverter in it that will have an output of about 2,200 watts of power. And that gives the ability for you to power really any small appliance that you would be taking on a car camping trip. Now, what kind of appliances am I talking about? You're not gonna bring your like KitchenAid stand-up mixer and bake bread and make cookies and all of that. I'm talking about smaller things that are convenient at home that you can then bring on a car camping trip to have those same conveniences. And that would be like a coffee maker, a coffee frother. I am somebody that personally loves to drink lattes, and so frothing milk and such to get it all beautiful for a nice, creamy, yummy, tasty latte. I plug that into here into one of the 2 AC outlets, and then I'm able to power that small appliance. I want to run through the specs and features of this DJI Power 1000. This Power 1000 means that it has a 1,024 watt hour capacity. And I have found that 1,000 watt hours is basically the sweet spot for being able to power a fridge for a full weekend, to charge all of my electronics and just have enough power for everything that I am doing. If I'm not running a fridge, then I can be in the 200 to 500 watt hour range, and a 1,000 watt hour power station is going to be a bit much. Now, this has several different ports here on the front. You have your AC outputs that this will run a stable 2200 watts of power through those AC outputs. It does have a boost option to be able to provide an extra boost of power for a short period of time, but that 2200 watts is going to be plenty to power pretty much any small appliance that you would be taking on a camping trip. You also have 4 USB ports. You have 2 USB-A and 2 USB-C. Those USB-C ports will have an output of 140 watts each. And then here over this side, you have 2 SDC ports. These are new for me. I'm not super familiar with these specific ports here. You also have your AC charging port, but the interesting thing about this is there's not a 12-volt outlet on this particular power station. So what DJI provides is a bunch of different accessories that you can get depending on your specific needs. That on one end you have your SDC port and the other end is going to plug in whatever you need. So this, for example, is the dongle for a 12-volt plug, so I can plug that in to that port, and then I just go direct in with my 12-volt fridge. Or I can be totally solar ready in the sense that I have this MPPT controller here that plugs into that same port. It can also mount to the side of the power station here. But what's cool about this, because at first I thought, man, why isn't this controller just built into the power station? But this provides 3 additional charging ports here for you to essentially link your solar together. So you could do multiple solar panels all into this same device here, plug it in, and then you get really fast charging. And then lastly, the battery chemistry for the Power 1000 is a lithium ferrophosphate battery that it will maintain up to 70% of its battery life over 4,000 cycles. So after you've done 4,000 cycles of charging, it'll still go up to 70%, which is awesome. Reason number 4 that a power station like this is super useful is similar to the first one in just keeping electronics charged, but specific to photography and videography. If you are somebody that loves to do landscape photography, night lapses, time lapses in general, or you are trying to run other types of equipment when you're out on a trip, which is pretty common actually. Maybe it's a powered slider that needs continuous power, which creates really cool and fun and interesting time lapses when a photographer or videographer is using those things. And so the power station gives you the ability to reduce the number of batteries that you have on hand, and you use this to just keep everything charged and running or plug directly into this, which is super, super nice. It's also super handy if you are somebody that does a lot of drone flying, and the area that you are in allows for that, and it's totally safe and legal. And so a power station like this, specifically the DJI, will help keep drone batteries totally charged and good to go so that you can keep flying for a longer period of time, which is the downside of a drone. They have such short flight times, but a power station is going to help with that big time when that's the reason you are going out into the backcountry for your camping trip. Now, reason number 5 that a power station is so useful may just be the number 1 reason why I carry and use a power station, and that is to power my 12-volt fridge. I stopped using coolers. I stopped buying ice, and it has been a literal game changer. I hate buying ice. I hate dealing with coolers. You have to pre-chill them. You have to do all this work to get them to do what they're supposed to do. And the power station, while it's an investment, and the fridge is also an investment, I keep my food at a consistent temperature. I don't have to buy ice. I just enjoy the smaller amount of space that is taken up by the fridge, and because this is multi-use, it's powering the fridge, it's keeping everything else powered and charged while I'm out on my trip as well. And I have the ability to charge the power station with a solar panel to just have continuous power that never runs out. So I don't have to turn on my car to charge this when my fridge is starting to deplete the battery to the point that this may not be able to go for the entire duration of the trip. Reason number 6 that a power station is so useful is the ability to power emergency devices when you are out on your car camping trip. You can get flat tires, you can get all sorts of different things that happen, and you can run a compressor, you can run a tire inflator, etc., that makes it possible for you to handle situations when you're out in the backcountry in remote places where if I didn't have a power station that had an inverter, that extra power, the ability to charge things and not have to run my battery, that all of those kinds of things, those emergency jump starter kits. Sometimes you've never used it and it has died. And then I've got the ability for me to charge that emergency device with the power station because I've also got solar with it. And then I'm just taking care of myself in multiple ways. So it just makes it way more handy in those emergency situations where I hope I never have to use it for that purpose, but I like to have it based off of those reasons. Oh man, the wind is so strong right now, it about blew over my camera. But reason number 7 that I carry a power station is the ability for me to run some really cool USB camp lighting and to just power some lights for when I want to be outside and I'm cooking in the dark and I just need some additional light from overhead or whatever it is. This gives me the ability to power multiple light sources all at once and provide enough lighting on my cooking area, whatever I'm doing, to enjoy my evening so I'm not just running everything off of a headlamp. These are all really simple reasons why a power station is so cool, why it's so handy, but what you need from a power station is going to come down to your personal style and needs. Why you're going out, what your goals are, what you're trying to accomplish. Maybe a 1,000 watt-hour capacity power station is way too big and you only need something that is in the like 200 watt-hour capacity to charge electronics and just keep things very simple that way and also not spend a lot of money. But if you're running a fridge, you're doing a bunch of other things, then a larger power station like this Power 1000 may be the way to go. Those are my reasons why I enjoy carrying a power station out on my camping trips. I also want to thank DJI for sharing the Power 1000 with me. If you want to learn more about the Power 1000, I've got a link down in the description. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. If you are not subscribed to the channel, you know what to do. Hope you have an awesome day. We'll catch you in the next one. See you later.